Okay, we are super lucky because we have the current Miss Turquoise Circuit Queen with us today, and she is going to tell us everything that she knows about sponsorship and fundraising. And the reason that I asked Cher to come on, and I'm gonna let her tell you a little bit about herself as well, is because she is like the ultimate greatest of all time at fundraising. Like I see this woman go out and the amount of people who have love for her, who want to support her, and the way that she represents her sponsors is incredible. So I'm excited for us to get to talk to her today, and we're gonna try and keep it short and sweet, but she has a wealth of information. And so everybody get out your pencil and paper and take your notes. And yeah, so I'm gonna kick it over to you for just a minute, Cher, and you can tell us who you are and a little bit about yourself.
So my name is Sharon Weehunt. Everybody calls me Cher because my horse is named Sunny, and if you know Sunny and Cher, then you know. But I've held back-to-back titles for the last 6 years. I am the current Miss Turquoise Circuit for 2024. I represent Arizona and New Mexico for the PRTA sanctioned rodeos. I represent the best in the Southwest, and in the Southwest, you've got to go out there and be known in your state and your community and get those connections and as well as networking.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mhm.
That's really awesome. And just to kind of give you guys a broader perspective, like Cher travels all over. I mean, what's the farthest that
Yes.
you've traveled for this title?
Oh my. I've traveled all the way to Pennsylvania and then I've traveled out to Florida as well. And then I'll be going out to Oregon at the end of the year. But I've traveled almost every weekend. I've been home maybe 5 or 6 weekends out of the year so far. So my truck's put on a lot of miles and I've got a lot of air air mileage on me. So
Yeah.
yeah, but I love the sport of rodeo and representing, and that's why I do it because it's a passion of mine.
Yeah. And so, I mean, when you say, the turquoise circuit represents New Mexico and Arizona, yes, that's true. And you're going out and you're representing cowboys and cowgirls who do professional rodeo from this region, but you're going everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if you could tell us a little bit about how you afford to do that. Like that must cost a ridiculous amount of money. Like, how can you afford to just travel every weekend?
Yeah, so it's not all rainbows and sunshine on the reality side off of social media, but I travel every weekend and it costs a pretty penny or two. But that's something not to be afraid of. It's one of those things of you have to do time management and budgeting and understanding what it's going to cost in your total year and being able to have those finances to back them up. That's where sponsors, fundraising, and any kind of financial status to help you get to those situations is going to matter in the end.
Yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely. And this is why I want to talk about this. And Sharon and I come from kind of a similar background in that, I tell the girls all the time, the girls that I coach, there's no way that I would have been able to do what I was able to do in rodeo queening without the immense generosity of others, and especially people in my community. And my mom was my trainer. My mom was my seamstress. She designed all of my clothes. My sister was my coach for interviews and for modeling all this stuff. And yes, I did get to go to some clinics and stuff, and I got help from people who knew a lot more than me. My mom always likes to say that I was the guinea pig because I was the oldest of the girls that she was coaching.
Yeah.
And so I just got sent to pageants and we didn't know what we were doing. And yeah, and then I would come back and be like, okay, well, we learned a lot. And now the next girl that goes after me or the next time I go, like, we'll get to do this. But
Yeah.
I think you and I have similar backgrounds in kind of that, there's a lot of people that helped us.
Oh yeah, you got to start from somewhere, and it's going to be one of those scary things when you first start out. Of you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know the what ifs of the situation, you don't know how you're going to handle or go into it. But that's the whole part of life is you have to go into it with a strong and confident mindset and understand that you're going to learn a lot of things and you're going to build on top of that as well. Mhm.
Yeah, yeah, I really like that. Okay, let's like just dive into this. So, my mom and we're coordinating a contest right now, and it's a county level contest. So
Nice.
think back to your county days. You competed in county contests to start with, or did you start at higher level contests?
So actually, I started out as a fair queen. I wasn't even a rodeo queen at all.
Uh-huh.
So what I was a livestock kid that just said I'm gonna try pageantry, and then I tried out for my first pageant at my county level for about 3 years, and I lost every single year. And then after that, I decided, okay, well, let's just try a different environment. Let's try something different and try to put myself at a standard to make myself work to that standard. So then I went over to Southern New Mexico State Fair in Las Cruces, and I tried 3 times there, I believe. And then I finally won on my fourth time. So I've lost a couple good, I lost for a
I-
good bit, but each time I lost, I was gaining skills, I was gaining knowledge, and always trying to improve on how I could capture a title or be a rodeo queen or be a fair queen going into that. Because again, I had to learn from scratch, and I had to learn from either videos, books, people, getting advice from people. It was just one of those things of if I had a will, it was gonna be a way.
Yes. Yeah, I love that. I think we learn so much more in losses than we do in titles. And the titles are great and they culminate kind of this like huge hard work package that you've put together. But the losses, I mean, you learn about yourself, you learn about, what it means to have a different panel of judges every single time you compete, and they're human and they're people, and some other human
Oh
selected
yeah.
them to be there. And it's just, yeah,
Yes.
judged contests for kids are man, they build character for
Oh
sure.
yeah, especially sitting on the other side of that table being a judge myself, it was a very different world and understanding, us judges, we're almost as afraid as the contestants because we're sitting there, we're writing down skills, and we're like, wow, these girls are going back to back at it, and this is going to be a tough call, and we're just writing down this, and we won't know until the end. So
Yeah.
we're biting nails just as these girls are, seeing who's going to win. And it's amazing to see, like, as a contestant on stage, and then looking down at them and understanding they're going through the same feelings I'm going as well. So that's completely okay. And at the end, it's always going to be one judge's say over another or their scorecards over another. And it's going into learning how to lose, because in the end, you never lose.
Yeah.
You're gaining skills and that knowledge from every time you compete, or even just being on stage around people, or even auditing as well.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I love that so much. And you're right, being a judge is like completely like you're like,
Oh,
what if I
yeah.
look away for 5 seconds and I miss something huge that happened? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So when you were at the county level, okay, and
Mm-hmm.
you didn't have big sponsors, nobody knew who you were, right?
Nope.
How do you go and ask someone to sponsor you? Where do you start and how do you do it?
So the main thing is when you are starting from the bottom and you really want to make a name for yourself and you want to make a legacy for yourself, you have to go in there like you are the most confident person in the room and you are the person of a businesswoman taking charge. And that's where negotiation and connection and deals come into play with sponsors. So when I first started out, I wore my crown, I wore my sash, and I had a professional business suit on. And I would either call these, like, I would have a list of the like sponsors or local businesses at first, and it would be from like car dealerships, restaurants. I had the clothes, what was it, the clothes dryer people here as well. They did that, and then Western wear, hats, saddlery places. Those are main places that you're running to go for. Local businesses, back your local businesses. But I would go in there. I would say hi, introduce myself, and then I would let down a piece of paper, and it had like my mission, what I was doing, what I was looking for, and how I could help promote their business as well as helping me in my reign.
Your mission. I
Yeah.
really love that. So part of the packet that the girls fill out as an application, they write an essay, a really short essay that says, why do you want this title? And like, how would you use your title throughout the year to promote the fair board? And Yeah, I hadn't thought of that at all, that that can be integrated. They're already going to have that all written out. That can be integrated into
Yeah.
looking for sponsorships. I think
Mhm.
starting even in your family and stuff like that too is a good place to start, and
Oh
just,
yeah.
if you have grandparents or you have family friends and things like that, you can,
Or do you know ranches or animal
yeah,
livestock sales places too? Because I know growing up, I knew a friend that had an uncle that did beef raising, and I would go out to his cattle ranch and get a sponsorship from him. And he used to do all the cattle out here in Otero County.
yeah.
So it was just one of those things of also look at your buyers at the sale, because not only are they buyers for your livestock sales, but they also have home businesses and town businesses that you can ask and make those connections as well.
Oh, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those are all really good ideas. So you took a sheet of paper, like something physical with you that they could look at, right?
Yes, I had my mom type up a little letter, and it had like my name, what I was from, the title I was running for, or if I had the title, then I would put that. And then I would make a goal for each year that, let's say, like when I was Otero County, I was going to say, I'm running for this title. My goal is to promote my fair and my organization to the best of my ability. And my goal is to help bring an audience for yourself, and as well as make this community well known.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in Socorro, we give a top hand buckle out. And
Mm-hmm.
so there's a rodeo side and a fair side, and all of those girls, they're required to go get $100 in sponsorships. But
Nice.
whoever
Okay.
in the most money in sponsorship is named the top hand, and
Hmm.
they win a belt buckle. And
Mhm.
so the information that you're giving these girls right now is huge. And we talked about this a little bit before too, that this conversation goes so much bigger than just rodeo queening, right?
Oh,
So
definitely.
and you talked about this a little bit too, is sports teams and stuff like that, that
Mm.
fundraising can be an integral part of showing, of rodeo queen, of playing sports, all of this stuff. For me, this conversation is great. I haven't been a This is my first time being a coordinator. I've ran in a
Yeah.
lot of pageants, right? But I've
Yeah.
had on the coordination side of things.
Mhm.
And I'm like, wow, there's a lot of money that goes into putting on a contest. There's a
And
lot
it
of
doesn't look like it, but it does. It takes a lot to put on a
volunteer
pageant or event
hours.
community thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's
does.
incredible, and I think it's humbling for me to be on this side of it now, you know what I mean? And it just makes me think back to all of my coordinators in the past and just be like, wow, they worked so hard for me to have that title. So,
Mhm.
okay, so maybe do you have anything else that you think is like a wisdom gem about getting sponsorships?
Well, let's see. I think about also, as well as reach out to like your local county sheriff posses or your police officers, law enforcement, and
Mhm.
then as well as what was the other one that I had at one point, because they represented me when I was county, and it was veterinarian places as well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So finding things that you businesses that you use on a daily day, they're gonna be more welcoming because you already have their business, and
Mhm.
they're gonna be looking to support you as well. So it's also look at your connections that you already have in life, even if it doesn't seem like a lot. In reality, there is a lot right there because those people know people, and you have to reach out and say, hey, you might want to sponsor if you're interested, or do you know somebody that I could contact, a friend that might be interested in helping me and I can help them? So
Yeah.
it's just one of those things as keep reaching out until you keep going out of the web of connections.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I see this thing happening a lot on social media where parents are posting on their social media and saying, "Do you want to sponsor my child?" And I think about that a lot, and I know that like my parents never would have done that. Like it was always my
Mhm.
responsibility to go and
Yeah.
like interact with the sponsor. But I've had this thought in my head, especially, you think about like little like sweetheart age girls, that
Mhm.
it's like, if you're comfortable having your child on your social media, that like a little
Mhm.
video of them saying, what they're doing, asking for a sponsorship, that to me, like as a potential sponsor, that would go so much further for me to see the actual kid there and say, 'cause
Yeah.
I know you leverage social media so well. And I'm sure, for younger kids, that's going to be different, right? But queen
Yeah.
age girls, maybe some princess
Mhm.
age girls, and then,
Oh
with the
yeah.
help of a parent, obviously, but just to be able to maybe put out a video or put out a TikTok or a reel
Yeah.
or like
I was
that.
like, social media.
Yeah,
I
where
was
you
like,
can
that's
reach
just a
so
big
many more
thing.
people. Yeah,
Mhm.
that just
Yeah.
popped into my head. I don't know if it's a good idea or if it would work,
Oh
but
yeah.
I think
Yeah.
that, you know, leveraging that way and like definitely having the girl who or the child who's competing be the one asking for
Mhm.
the sponsorship, I think is
Yeah.
probably a good way to go about
I
that.
think that would be a great idea because I did the same thing as well. Because at some point, when you are looking for sponsors, and if you come from a very rural area, it's one of those things you might have to reach out to find other businesses that are somewhat local within your town radius as well. Um, but I did videos. I would put on my professional outfit and I would say, "Hi, introduction. I'm looking for sponsors. If you're looking to, you also have to like make a creative way about it and saying, come support your local fair queen, rodeo queen. This is what I'm trying to do for my town. This is how I can help you.
Mm.
Let's work together as a team and make it more of like you're making it a connection on a human level because yes, they're businesses, but they're still humans. And you want them to make them feel like they're part of your team and that they're going to be part of your industry family as well. And that's how you keep connections as a sponsor too. So with like videos, always having like a parent with you, I think that'd be a great idea as long as they're comfortable. And then as well as like older ones too, videos, social media posts, even with like a picture or even going out to your local sponsors. I personally like going to my sponsors still. I learned like you at a responsible, it's an age thing where you go and my mom would make me go to them and talk because I worked in my public speaking as well. But it's just one of those things. If you go in person, you're going to have more of a personal connection than on a screen because on a screen, you can't really read emotions or tell what they're thinking or saying. So you rather put your emotions and your passions into your voice while you're talking to them in person.
Gotcha. Okay, we have about 10 minutes left. So
Okay.
let's talk about fundraising. Did you do a lot of
Mhm.
fundraising when you were doing local pageants?
I did. So I did like a lot of bake sales. I did a lot of 50/50 raffles. We kind of talked about this a little bit. We also did they're kind of like prize draws. You would get like a prize donated from a store, and then you would say, "Hey, we're raffling this off." You can do like 1 through 100 on a social media post, or you would be selling tickets, and that would be a way to kind of like keep your budget together and your finances together through like Venmo and all of those fun little finance apps. So you
Yeah.
would put like your tags and all that and get that on social media, or you can even make like a page and also put it on like the grocery store, the newspaper office, going to different places with like advertisement for yourself because you're promoting yourself and you're promoting your organization. So with like the 50/50 raffles, that one's my favorite because people love that kind of stuff.
Right.
So what I did was he is actually a sponsor as of right now for me and is Baca Rodeo, and I would go to him and he came up with the idea of me going to his rodeo productions and his bull riding events and I would go sell 50/50 raffle tickets during intermission or between sports events or running flags. And that was a way I could bring in finances and as well as give the people a little bit of a prize at the end. So that's how I kind of built up on my sponsorships and that fundraising too.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I like all of that. And I mean, it's something that you can do together as, as a pageant, or you could do it
Mhm.
individually. Yeah, I'm sure there's, logistics to all of those
Oh
things.
yeah.
But
Oh,
yeah,
like
those would
you'll
be,
you'll figure it out sooner or later. It
yeah.
just you have to first engage with those kind of things, and then all of those little steps will come up, and you're going to go with the flow of figuring out how the fundraising works and making those connections as well to get your fundraising or advertisements going too.
Okay, what do you do if if you ask for a sponsorship and somebody says, "I really, really, really want to help you, but I don't have any money to give you." Like, what can that
Mhm.
person do to support you?
Oh, definitely. So I call them for like my personal sponsors, I call them item sponsors or I call them the fan club sponsors
Mhm.
because what it is they can either donate items or they can donate services or goods. So like let's say if you want to do like a fundraising event and you're trying to put on like this kind of party kind of thing, you could have like a catering service come in if they want to support you or some kind of like goods and services demand kind of thing like that. But with item sponsors, they would either donate like clothing, buckles, hats, equipment. I've had somebody do like a gift basket before, or somebody did. They're one of my sponsors now. She does beadwork and she gives me items like that as well to represent her too. Because if they're giving you items that come from their business and they don't have money, that actually promotes them if you wear them during the pageant or during your appearances.
Mhm. Oh, I love
Mm-hmm.
that. I think something, if we're talking about sponsors, we have to talk about thank yous, right?
Yes, that's a big
How do
one.
we thank our sponsors?
So with thanking sponsors, we kind of want to do like more of an appreciation thing, and that's of you're building your connection on them. And when you're doing that, you're promoting on social media, saying thank you to my sponsors, thank you for all that you do, and list they do, and then also tagging them on either social media or their number or contacts because that could be something a business that somebody might want to get involved with, and that's how you get the promotion of that sponsor. Or you could do in-person visits. Another one was what I would do is I would get like my photo and I would put their logo at the top of it. And then I would sign it at the bottom with like a thank you card and saying, this is what you've done for me. Thank you for all your help. And then, as well as with like the in person visits, I would go and actually have myself sit there for like a day or two. Like I would come up either other day. And like for Dollar Boots and Jeans and Redoso, they would have like their semi-annual sales, and I would go and I would spend time with them, helping them with the sale, either helping them with customers or taking photos with them or anything of the sort that I could.
Ah, I love that. I actually
Yeah,
have a picture of you on my refrigerator that you wrote thank you on whenever we came and did the clinic. And so
yeah,
I keep every thank you card
mhm,
I've ever been given, I'm pretty sure is on my refrigerator right now.
yeah.
I think it just
It's just one of those little things that people take because it's like it's heartfelt, and you want to make it heartfelt because they're becoming part of your family through this industry, and they're gonna appreciate that and remember that through the years you get older and journey with them too.
Mhm. Yeah, I really
Mhm,
like that. Wow. I think we covered a ton of information.
mhm,
If the girls need to, if they want to connect with you, if they want to follow you, if they have questions for you,
mhm.
how do they get in touch with you?
So they can get in touch with me either online, mostly online. My phone number is actually on social media too,
Okay.
but I can also send you that information to hand out to girls. But my social media is Share We Hunt on Facebook or Sunny and Share Show, either on TikTok and Instagram.
I
And you
love
just
your
send me a
TikTok. I love your
thank you.
TikTok so much.
Yeah, but just send me a DM, and I usually get back. The one thing I do respond better on is Facebook Messenger, so that's a big one, or directly on email or text message or call. Those are some good ones. But if they ever need help with anything, I'm always here. I'm always a text away. It might take me a little bit, but I get there. And then if they need to meet in person, I'm always willing to meet in person as well.
Gosh, you're the best. I'm so happy that you agreed to do this and that you made time with your
Oh yeah.
busy travel schedule to do this. Before I let you
Mhm.
go, I wanted to ask you, um, you've judged pageants, you've been in a gazillion pageants. What is your favorite personal interview question to either ask or answer?
Ooh, I think my favorite one that I've asked so far is, "Are you having a good day?" And
I
just like asking them because a lot of the time they're such in a rush with like writing down things or anything, and it causes them to take like a moment and say, yeah, I'm having a great day. And I'm asking them like making it a more personal thing with them, like a human conversation instead of this scary nervous interview with them. It's you're just having a conversation with them, and you sometimes want to like bring out their side of the story too of like, how's your day going? Oh, that's so great. I'm glad you're enjoying the pageant. Isn't it a wonderful day? And then that also gives you that connection of, yeah, I'm having a wonderful day. Well, make sure later today you can check out the fair. They're having this cool event later, and that's always my favorite part of the day too. So
Yeah.
it's just like you get a little bit more information in there. You're bringing in their side of the emotion, and you're also making that more personal touch on it too. And then also like another question I love asking is this is mostly like at the end of the pageant, if like I did good or didn't do good, I always go ask is I go up to them, I shake their hand, and I always ask, how can I improve or what can I do to do better for the
Oh,
next one? Mhm.
yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, and last
Yeah.
question, 1 minute left. What is the best advice you can give to these girls who are running?
The best advice I can give to the next girls running is learn to lose because each time you lose, you're always winning. And that's because you're learning skills, you're learning the mindset, you're gaining networking, that knowledge all over again, and you're growing as a person. And for girls that do get a title later on, it's just one of those things as treat each title like you are Miss Rodeo America and go into it with a mindset that you're going to make each title and each year better than the last and grow on that. And it's just one of those things of you're not only representing yourself, you're representing your organization, you're representing your community, your state, and your family and your community. So always go in there knowing that you are doing your best, you're doing a great job. And just because you're rodeo cleaning or if you get a title or lose a title, that your connections are going to last a lifetime
Mm,
because people will always remember you and they're always going to remember how you made them feel. So always keep that in mind.
I love that so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so much for doing this. We
Yeah,
appreciate
no problem.
and, yeah, I can't tell people enough how much they should follow you and check you out because you're going places, sis, and you're the best. Okay, I
Yeah, and
appreciate
I'm actually coming to Socorro, so I'll see everybody soon too.
it. Okay, cool. Perfect, you'll get
Yeah.
to see the crowning.
Oh, cool. Well, I will see everybody then.
Awesome.